dealing with motorway ramp signals can be frustrating. In fact, I'll talk to Kelly about this afterwards because I realised it's not all through New Zealand. How many of us have started to get onto the motorway and come across that red light? If it's super busy, I mean, I get it. You stop and you wait for your turn. But if you're the only car approaching, how many of you just blow straight through it? I've been known to do that. There you go. I've been honest. It's illegal though, Leah, to ignore ramp red lights. Fines of about $150. Well, $150 applies. These motorway on-ramps use these signals to regulate how quickly cars merge onto the highway. They are meant to prevent flow disruptions and reduce crashes by controlling the entry. However, despite there being, wait for it, 91 ramp signals across Auckland, that is, by the way, the largest setup in the Southern Hemisphere. I mean, overkill much? 91 ramp signals across Auckland. Many drivers treat the red lights as optional. Well, because there's so many. Local transport experts say, look, if you disregard it, you're causing safety and congestion issues. All right. Dylan Thomsen is the AA's road safety spokesman. He has heard me be honest, and he's probably going to growl me. Dylan, good afternoon.
Hi, Leah. How you doing?
So I've just been honest, Dylan. I have before gone through those red lights.
I heard.
I've heard.
And I took notes.
Are you disappointed? You're not angry, you're just disappointed.
No, I'm going to say that I don't think you're alone. I don't think you're alone. No. So you're in company, and it's one of those classic things where people often don't quite understand why these things are operating or what they're trying to do.
Tell us, Dylan, what are they trying to do?
Basically, it's all about flow. It's all about trying to control the flow of vehicles onto the motorway and make sure that we don't overload it, because if we can keep that flow of traffic on the motorway moving at, even if it's a slow speed, but if it's a steady slow speed, more vehicles will be able to get through and make that trip in less time than if we overload it and it becomes a stop-start. As soon as that flow of traffic stops moving and has points where it comes to a complete halt, that actually means that everybody ends up having slower trips and taking longer to get where they want to go. And so those on-ramp lights are just about trying to make sure that we don't end up with too many vehicles all getting to some bottlenecks at the same point. And the slightly weird example I would use is, when our tomato sauce bottle is empty at home and I have to refill it, and I put stick with me for a moment.
Okay, all right.
And I put the funnel in and I start pouring the fresh can in.
Yeah.
If I pour too much from that can in too quickly, it can't get through that opening in the funnel and it starts backing up. And if I just kept going, it would end up overflowing over the bench. So you have to just maintain a slow, steady pace, and then it'll go through the funnel, and it's all fine, and we don't have any spillovers.
That's good. Okay, all right. Well, then explain to me though. What do you think of 91 ramp signals in Auckland, the largest setup in the Southern Hemisphere? Does that sound a little bit too precious or a little bit overkill? I mean, why have we got the most even out of Australia?
Well, I mean, they do have them in Australia as well, and so it's not like we're the only place using them.
No, but I suppose we've got the most per capita, I would say.
Yeah, I was actually unaware of that fact until now, that we had more than anywhere else. But the AA actually, we like the ramp metering, even though it's got some issues in terms of people not understanding it, and we think that we could do a better job there of getting people to actually know why and why they should, the benefits that they will get if they actually obey them.
I think that's a good point. Yeah.
They actually mean that the motorway network in Auckland, even though it might not feel like it, it has run a little bit quicker and flowed a little bit better in Auckland since those cameras were introduced, and there's been a bunch of monitoring done and different percentages about improvements in traffic flow and how many vehicles can get through certain stretches and all those kind of things. And so if we didn't have them, the motorway network in Auckland would be running worse, and we'd have more stop starts. And the other thing that they've actually improved when they're going well and people are obeying them is that merge point is a real risky time for people getting things wrong and having some collisions. And they might only be minor sort of nose to tail type collisions, but still you have one of those, and then you get real big delays because people have to stop, and we've got vehicles damaged on the side of the road that have to be cleared. And the ramp signals, if people do obey those lights, and what it means is we have more space with each vehicle that's coming onto the ramp, and that makes it a little bit easier for them to look at the traffic they're merging into and be aware of what's happening. And when we have more vehicles all trying to sort of merge in at the same time, there's just more risk of crashes. So they have actually meant less people having those small crashes that can cause huge delays.
You mentioned it before. You said from the AA's perspective, what would you like to see happen? Because you've explained, why they're there and the reason we do it, but maybe there's more education that's needed, or more science. Oh God, I hate science, but you know what I mean, because people, as you just, I admitted that people do blow through them because they don't really understand, or they're frustrated, or they're just impatient, or there's confusion. What would the AA like to see then to make it clearer so people understand what's happening?
I think, just actually opportunities like this. So I think it's good to have some stories in the media about them, and we can take a look ourselves as an organisation at the AA, but also with the authorities. Just thinking about different campaigns, information. I mean, we might be just talking some social media type promotion. I don't know if more signs would really be the answer, but I think just trying to take opportunities to give people a little bit more knowledge and understanding of why we actually have these things, and that there is a benefit to you to obey them and follow them. And one of the really tricky things as well is that sometimes you are coming onto a motorway on-ramp and you see one of these lights and you look down and you can't see a lot of traffic on the motorway in front of you. So you think that makes no sense to me.
Yes,
the thing that you can't see is 3 kilometres, 5 kilometres up the motorway network, there is a bottleneck that is starting to develop. And so the system is trying to slow down the flow back before you get to that crunch point, so that it doesn't get worse. But I think we just need to have some stories in the media and just material from the likes of the AA or other organisations just to help keep raising awareness and reminding people there is some benefits to these things.
Because I have thought of that. There's been times, say on a Saturday afternoon, I've been coming back from shopping or something, grocery shopping, and I've come around to go onto the motorway to come home, and I'm the only car, using this particular on-ramp, and the lights are flashing, there's red, and I'm like, what? Why am I stopping? Because I can see that the motorway is it's flowing well, but I get it. You're right. Maybe 3 k's up the road, up the motorway, there's a real congestion. It could have been an accident. Things are going to start maybe to get a bit hairy. So be aware of it.
I mean, they're looking at the whole motorway network, not just that particular ramp.
Not Leah's on ramp. My one shopping on ramp. Hey, and I didn't realise this. I thought they talk about education. I thought, it's a stop sign, Leah. I mean, there's a red light. I've gone through it. I've snuck through it. Surely I've broken a rule here. Yeah, there's a $150 fine.
It's just the same as any other red light. It's just like coming up to an intersection, in your standard neighbourhood. And if you pulled up to one of those intersections and went, the light's red, but looks
There's no
good
one
to me
coming.
and I'm going
Yeah.
through it,
Yep.
you're risking $150
Oh, yeah,
fine
of
and 20
course. I'll never
demerit
do
points
that.
on your license.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and
Oh, okay.
those lights on the motorway are
Exactly the
effectively
same. Treat
just
them
the
the
same
same.
as any other red light.
There was another issue I saw over the weekend, Dylan. All council road projects now must meet new guidelines to access government funding, and they must follow newly released risk-based national traffic management guidelines, which includes getting rid of overly strict and detailed rules about exactly how many traffic cones and road signs have to be set up, say, during roadworks. Now, again, from my perspective, and I think a lot of people would say we'd love to see fewer orange cones. Do you think, though, is a concern that is this a common sense approach with cones and closures, or are you worried, they're there for a reason? Could it potentially be a problem if they've, but to get funding, the councils will now go, right, we've got to take these cones away, we've got to take signs away. Is it potential that things could go wrong?